The hidden harmful effects of the standing static quad stretch. The standing static quad stretch is often touted as a key element in physical fitness. Yet, what many don't realize is that it carries potential risks. The strain this stretch puts on your knees is one such downside. While it may seem like a trivial concern, it can lead to serious ligament damage over time. Another issue is the stress it places on your lower back. Unconsciously arching your back during this stretch can cause lower back pain, a common problem among athletes and fitness enthusiasts. The standing quad stretch also requires a good balance. For those without a strong balance, executing this exercise can lead to accidental falls and related injuries. The position of your foot during this stretch is another concern. Improper alignment may lead to ankle injuries, making the stretch more risky than beneficial. Moreover, there's a risk of overstretching. When executed incorrectly, the standing quad stretch can overstretch your muscles, leading to strain and possible tears. Also, it's worth mentioning the lack of effectiveness in static stretching as a warm-up activity. Research suggests dynamic stretches are more beneficial for muscle flexibility and performance. Extended periods of static stretching can also decrease muscle strength. This is particularly troubling for athletes who rely on their leg strength for performance. The standing static quad stretch also neglects other muscle groups. While it primarily targets the quads, it fails to engage muscles like the hamstrings, glutes, and hip flexors. This leads to an imbalance in muscle flexibility. Over time, this can contribute to muscle imbalances, leading to issues with posture and overall body mechanics. Another downside is the risk of creating muscle imbalances. Focusing solely on one muscle group can lead to an overdevelopment of the quads at the expense of the other muscles. Additionally, the static nature of the stretch does not simulate the conditions of most physical activities. This lack of functional movement may limit the stretch's effectiveness in injury prevention. The standing static quad stretch also lacks versatility. There are plenty of other stretches that target the quads while also engaging other muscle groups. For beginners, the standing quad stretch can be hard to perform correctly. This steep learning curve further contributes to the risk of injury. Another issue is the potential for chronic pain. Over time, the constant pulling and straining of the quad can lead to chronic pain in the area. It's also important to note that not everyone needs to stretch their quads. For individuals with naturally flexible quads, this exercise can lead to hyperflexibility. Furthermore, this stretch does not consider individual differences in flexibility. What works for one person may strain another, making it a potentially risky choice. Lastly, the standing static quad stretch can create a false sense of security. Just because you're stretching does not mean you're immune to injury. In conclusion, while the standing static quad stretch may seem beneficial, it's essential to weigh the pros and cons. Always listen to your body and engage in exercises that promote overall body health. Remember, the goal of stretching is to increase flexibility, improve performance, and prevent injury. If a particular stretch is causing more harm than good, it may be time to reconsider. Instead, focus on dynamic stretches that engage multiple muscle groups. And most importantly, consult a fitness professional. They can provide advice tailored to your individual needs, ensuring a safe and effective workout. Don't let stretching turn into straining. Prioritize your health above all. So, next time you think of doing the standing static quad stretch, remember these potential downsides. Because at the end of the day, it's not just about being fit, it's about being healthy. Fitness with caution, that should be our mantra. Often this stretching exercise is seen as an essential part of any workout routine, but is it truly beneficial? The standing static quad stretch predominantly targets the quadriceps, the muscle group in your front thighs. The idea is to draw your foot towards your buttocks, thus stretching your thigh muscles. Sounds simple and effective, right? Yet the reality is a tad bit more complex. Let's delve deeper into why this stretch might not be everyone's cup of tea. One major concern is that the standing static quad stretch may not be suitable for people with knee problems. The stretch puts a lot of stress on your knee joint, which can exacerbate existing knee conditions. It's also not recommended for those suffering from lower back issues. The stretch can lead to an unnatural curve in the spine, causing discomfort. You might assume that the quad stretch improves balance, but that isn't necessarily true. In fact, without proper form and stability, it can actually make you more prone to falls and injuries. Another issue is that the quad stretch can cause muscle imbalances if performed regularly without complementary exercises. When we overstretch one muscle group and neglect others, our body becomes less aligned, leading to potential problems. If you're suffering from hip issues, the quad stretch is not for you. Why? The stretch requires a level of hip mobility that some people simply don't possess, leading to strain and discomfort. Not to mention, this stretch is easy to do wrong. A slight misalignment can cause more harm than good.